This. I got this chart here behind me, and I said I was going to get to that, but God keep placing things on my mind and keep speaking to me in nighttime and as I sleep in my bed, getting me up early in the morning, rising me up early to come and speak to you concerning the matter and the time at hand. We live in a lifestyle and we have placed ourselves in a state of delusion where we will cling and hear that is wrong, for we comprehend that that is right. We'd rather hear a lie than hear the truth. Today, I want to try to open your eyes to another situation, yet the same, just like drugs, but it's a new thing that man have did. It plagued this earth. Anything that is not a reproduction system, doesn't have a reproduction, it doesn't have a root, it's something bad. It is vanity. Anything which cannot grow from the earth and reproduce itself over and over again, repeating, is not the works of God. God created and manufactured everything and placed it into the earth and told it to be fruitful and multiply. You go to Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2, it tells you these things. From the foundation of the earth, this is what God did. And without that part where he told it to reproduce and create a life for itself within its seed as it grows through the earth, this became meat for the peoples to eat, and that we will live as in the flesh of human beings while we remain upon the earth. But through the characteristics of the Antichrist, he created another seed which was not a seed. Cast it upon the earth, and it just lie there, lifeless, because it have no life upon it in it. So what he did was he take the and create manufacturing and stuff like this and trade this substance that which have no life, which have no value of a seed part. He traded it for that which have the life for seed part. In other words, he make thorns which have no power to reproduce itself, make it grow along with that which God gave life from the foundation of the earth and spoke to it and said, be fruitful and multiply, and gave it his blessing. One of them, even though all of it was created by God, but one of them is not in the book of life for salvation of the soul. And one is. I have to tell you these things because it was commanded to me by God to tell you these things. There are so many, they'll turn away from me and not look at these things. Now, I spoke concerning drugs that have infested the United States all the time. It became a flame set to destroy one man and to uphold another man, where it victimized one man and make him a victim of the circumstance upon which it was created. It put a gun in the other man's hand and make him ruler over through the deception of the mind. In other words, we're playing cops and robbers. On one hand, cocaine created robbers, and on the other hand, it creates cops, depending on the man. This is what it does. It have the same significance as that man that created a storehouse, and he had filled his storehouse so full until he said, I tear this house down, this barn down, and create a larger barn and put all of my stuff in there. But he never considered about the poor man. He never would thought about the person that he was robbing out of his dignity as he put drugs and stuff upon the streets of America and other places of the earth. All they had a thought was for that moment. Just like the rich man and Lazarus. All that rich man thought about was that moment. And he didn't consider Lazarus was sent to him by God, the God who created the corn that he placed in his storehouse or in his barn. Well, you might say it doesn't have the same significance as cocaine. I saw the revelations as I was a child growing up in America. And later on, after I was caught up between the earth and the sun, and I saw God sitting in the center of the sun, God commanded me, saying to me, start my book off by writing about me and my peoples. As he told me to write about my peoples and myself, he said that he would go before me, he'll walk before me, and he'll walk with me, and he'll walk before me because I was illiterate to the world. Didn't know nothing about this strange world. Didn't know what all was happening around me. But he took me to a place and condition and confined me into those conditions that I might see what they were done to the poor men, the rich people, what they were done to the poor men that was contaminating their mind with drugs. But as I sit today and I look into what's happening, it's a bigger thing and a more sinister thing than it was the drug. When you look at the condition when the Mexicans came over here and built the United States of America, and the poor black people, the former slave, did likewise, this became the mindset of the man who built the barn, and he gained so much until he created and built a bigger barn. Creating vanity through vanity. You look at the part where this man, he'd taken and he had the man, the mule, plowing his crops. And the black man, the slave, walking behind the mule, plowing his crops with the mule. Once he saw this storehouse was getting too small, this barnyard barn, I'm using this as a parable, he created John Deere tractors, M-Farm Oil, the old style, Minneapolis Moline, and Allison Channels, or whatever they were. But anyway, these was some of the first breed of the tractors he built. But as this nation began to grow, they had to expand their barn because they had they began to make these mega tractors, mega airplanes. They changed from a single roadway and started broadening their roadway from one end of America to another end of America, creating 4 lanes here, 4 lanes there, 4 lanes in the urban area or more, because the population had begun to grow and everybody was flocking to the United States of America because America became one of the richest and the most dominant powers upon the earth. But the ramification of it all bear the same weight as cocaine drug. It had no subsequent life, never did, never will. But they became blinded until they saw what they was done, but they couldn't, and hearing what the hammer were building and keep building, but they couldn't comprehend what the sound of the hammer was telling them as they built. So they began to build a bigger empire, but the earth upon which we live is only so big, just like a gallon bucket, and a gallon bucket could only